Alright guys, out here in this winter I said I'd do an update on it, so here I am. I made a video yesterday, but it didn't turn out right. I'm playing with these Go Vision glasses. If you guys noticed on that cattle trailer video, I downloaded a free video editing software program deal, so I'm kind of playing with that. So it has some features on there I'm going to try out with this Go Vision glasses and see if I can get a video to edit faster. But anyways, on Saturday, when we were out here on the pasture walk, none of these had any of these heads on them yet. And they're getting heads pretty quick now. They're a little bit shorter. I was hoping they'd be about 3 foot tall, but they're coming along. So, and it's actually thicker than I thought it would be because I didn't plant it very heavy. I only planted about 40 to 50 pounds to the acre. So, and this was planted in October. But as you can see, it's coming along. And yesterday, it was dry. We got 3/10 of an inch last night, and the ground is much softer today than it was yesterday. I made a video, or the video I made yesterday that I ended up deleting. I didn't like it. I mean, I could hardly get the knife to stab in the ground here, and it's that little bit of rain sure helped last night. But so yeah, we've got winter rye growing here, and it's coming right along. I shouldn't say never, I've raised winter rye one other time to harvest for the seed off of it. And that's been 11, 12 years ago. So this will be a fun adventure this year. But I mean, some of this stuff you can see here, it's up to my waist. I was hoping all of it would get that tall, but this is pretty sandy down here. This bottom here, you can see where it's a little bit darker there over is heavier ground. Then all the rest of it's pretty sandy. So it's a little bit shorter up there, and I'm thinking when I combine this, I'm gonna leave the straw. I'm just gonna chop it and blow it back in the ground, just to leave it here. Try and help build the soil up a little bit. My oats over on the other place, that stuff we'll bale that for bedding. I got to thinking the other night when I had raised straw back there in the valley, or rye back there in the valley, and combined it. And for the straw, we didn't really like the straw as much as oat straw. Barley straw is really nice, but I don't have much of a use for barley. And here's a pile of corn stalks, or corn cobs I dumped out here for the deer. It's all nasty stuff I didn't want to feed to the cows or the pigs, so. But it's coming along. I mean, it'd be nice if it was all this thick and tall, but you know, some of this stuff is up to my waist, if not taller. So yeah, I think we're just gonna combine this and then blow the straw back on the field. So we're gonna bale that oat straw in that other place. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't really raised rye in the past, just that one time, so I'm not that experienced with it. But it just seems to me like putting seed heads on already, and it's not even June. Just seems early to me. But I don't know. There's not too many guys around the area that do a whole lot with cover crops, so I don't know what anybody else will look like that's on better ground. I mean, my fertility is really low. We did put potash on here a week or two ago, 3 weeks ago, but we only put 150 pounds on it. It could really use probably 400 pounds. But I live off of what I produce on this farm, and then other than a little bit of custom work here and there, so I don't have a whole lot of funds for buying all that stuff. That's a lot of why I'm getting into the cover crops, trying to improve the soil here. Um, so yeah, and like I say, none of the other guys are really doing cover crops, and the ones that do, I mean, they've either dissed it in or sprayed it off or what have you a couple weeks ago. So I have nobody else's to compare this to. Um, but I don't know. It's there though. I mean, you say it'd be nice if it was twice as thick, but I'm just gonna harvest it for seed for cover crops again anyway. So, but if any of you other guys have experience with it, I mean, is this on track? Is it early? I don't really know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows a lot more about it than I do. So that's what the winterize looking like. I hate to wish the summer away, but I'm ready for it to be ready to combine so I can play with that new combine. And one other thing here quick. I had the corn planter in the shop before I had planted this silage corn out here. And the adjusters for the closing or the firming wheels, I can never get them adjusted. Well, I got them freed up and set as tight as they would go. And I knew it was going to be an issue on this because this front part here has had cows on it a lot. So this ground is hard. And you can see there's seeds that didn't get in the ground. And I could barely get the no-till coulters in the ground. I mean, so I'm surprised there's as little seed on top as there is for how hard this ground is. But in the back there, it's all the furrows are closed. So I don't know, somebody noticed in my other corn planting video over on the Northland that my furrows weren't closing. So this definitely improved with that deal. But yeah, this ground is hard here. So you can see there's spots where the corn's just barely in the ground. I mean, I could not hardly get the corn planter in the ground. And this front part, once you get about halfway back here, it's not near as bad. But obviously when the cows come around the corner, there's a lot of traffic here from the cows. And they've been on here when it was wet in years past, so that's a lot of why I put this back into a field. It has been pastured, so I put this in the field so I could spray it off, get the roots to die, and then get some cover crops in here for a while and hopefully soften the ground back up. But yeah, I mean, you can see that trench is all closed now, furrow or whatever the heck you want to call it. So that's a definite improvement over what it was. Someday I wouldn't mind getting some spiked closing wheels or something, and then I want to try and figure something out where I don't have to use the marker arms on the corn planter. Whether I build a roller for the corn planter that goes up and down with it and it just knocks the stuff down so I can see where I was, or if I put something on the rows here that they stand out better when I'm on the tractor so I can see them. The problem is my roll markers, if you go one way, it doesn't really have any down pressure. When you're going the other way around the field, it has so much pressure that it constantly lifts the corn planter up off the ground. Which I'm sure it's something simple, but I'd just like to not use it because it leaves, like here isn't bad because this is so compacted, but you get back there and it shows in some other videos how aggressive it gets, and it's almost like a plow. I'd really rather not have to use them, then I won't have to deal with that. And you know, I talked in one of the other videos of when the planter was in the shop that I was going to mount spray units on it. Well, that didn't happen this year, and I'm hoping next year. That way I can instead of going out and spraying before I plant, spray while I plant. And then that might be just enough that I can see where I just was with the corn planter, you know, so I know where I need to be. But anyways, that's kind of what it's looking like. We finally got some rain. It's kind of funny that, you know, just a couple weeks ago, kind of complaining about too much rain, and it's been really dry here the last week. Now we finally got a little bit, so hopefully the hay starts growing. The orchard grass is putting seed heads on, so that's getting there. But I'd like the clover to get up there and start putting on seeds before I cut hay this year. I want to try and cut hay later, and then hopefully the haybine will knock a lot of the seed off back onto the ground and get it to come back thicker next year. And I'm hoping to only cut one cutting of hay off the fields here at home, and then graze them the rest of the year. So hopefully if the haybine knocks the seed on the ground, hopefully the cows or hooves will push the seed in the ground and get it going yet this year, so it's growing for next year, and hopefully that'll just improve the stand for next year without really costing me a lot of money. I've always been, in the past, try to get 3 to 4 cuttings off. Like right now I'd be doing first crop, if not already have had it done. And then you get to the problem of then you got to wrap the bales because they're wet and all that kind of stuff. And this year I don't want to monkey with that. As you can see, I've got plastic all over. I'm so sick of plastic. So I'm going to try and take a late first cutting this year, like I say, to get this, you know, the seeds hopefully to fall back to the ground and make all dry hay. And hopefully other guys that are doing this, you know, I'll do 2 cuttings and they'll do 1, and they'll get dang near the same tonnage I get off of 2. So hopefully I can just do 1 and get enough hay off 1 crop off these fields. Then the rental grounds, the hay on those, I'll do a 2nd or 3rd cutting if it's there. But that's kind of what's going on here. The corn is coming out of the ground over on the other fields. The beans are coming out of the ground. They're just starting to come out of the ground, so maybe in a couple days I'll make an update on that once more of them are out of the ground. But they're coming out of the ground, so the drill did its job. I think it'd be better if I had those other wheels on it, but that'll probably be a winter project, ordering all those gauge wheels for the back and change them and whatnot. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.